boys and girls, this is Miss Miller, and here's my dog Winnie, and we're here today to read you a book called Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. And what's great about Patricia Polacco is she is an author that lives in Michigan, and she's done all these great stories. And this one happens to be about being scared of thunder and lightning and storms that we have in Michigan. And I love thunderstorms. But my dad, when I was younger, taught me this cool trick. And actually, when I started reading Patricia Polacco, she does the same trick in her book. So I'm going to teach it today to you, and I'm going to read this book. And maybe at home, while you're watching this, you'll see that we do something that's repetitive, something that we keep saying over and over again. And you can join in with me. So that would be awesome. So now we're going to start it. Winnie and I are going to read it to you right now. Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. On sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds glow for an instant with a sharp, crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before, but I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather, all right. Looks like a storm coming to me." "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandma said. She is under the bed. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "Thunder cake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting, real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number's how many miles away the storm is. Understand?" she asked. "We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake." Her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. Let's find the recipe, child," she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to a creased point. "Here it is. Thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of paper. "Now let's gather all the things we'll need," she exclaimed, and she scurried toward the back door. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting, like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles. It's 10 miles away," Grandma said as she looked at the sky. "About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful like," she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. "I'm here, so she won't hurt you. Just get them eggs," Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I counted. Baroom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma creaked. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. To me, it looks like, she told you that they lived on a farm, so they don't have everything right in their cabinets like we would. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through Tanglewoods to the dry shed. Suddenly, the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I counted. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom! Kaboom! The thunder bellowed. It was dark, and I was scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now. We haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. Ooh, I wonder what the secret ingredient is. Winnie, do you know what the secret ingredient is? I don't know either. Let's find out. 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed high up on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I counted. Kabang, boom, boom, boom! The thunder growled. Who would have thought a secret ingredient in cake would be tomatoes? We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen, and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3 and the thunder, rum, crash. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is in the oven. We made it! We'll have real thunder cake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why aren't you afraid of thunder? You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, she answered. And you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen. You got milk from old Kick Cow. You went through Tangleweed Woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all them things. I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then, the lightning flashed, And this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder roared and boomed and crashed and boomed. Just above us, the storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed. Just perfect. She beamed and she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of the thunder cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea, and when the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. The end. Now, what's really great about this book is Patricia Polacco. It's a true story about her when she was younger, and there's a recipe for her thunder cake right here in the back. And you know what? Sometimes we get scared of things, but you know what? It's okay because we always have someone there to help us and to help us not be so scared. We have our parents, we might have a wonderful dog, or we might have a stuffed animal, or you know what? We can also pray to God. So that's awesome that we have those things. So I hope you loved Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. You should go out and get more of her books. They're fantastic. And Winnie was so happy to hear the story too. So we will see you guys all later. Say goodbye, Winnie. Bye.